Mark's girlfriend Emma is crying again. This time, it's because a dog in a commercial found its way home. Before that, she cried because her coworker said something nice about her presentation. Before that, she cried because she saw an old man eating alone at a restaurant. Emma cries at everything: happy things, sad things, frustrating things, beautiful things. Her eyes fill with tears multiple times a day, and she has almost no control over when it happens. Mark used to ask, "What's wrong?" every time. Now he knows better. Nothing's wrong. This is just how Emma experiences the world. If you've ever been called too sensitive or felt embarrassed by tears you couldn't stop, you're about to understand why some brains work this way. Let's start with the body, because some people are just born this way. Scientists found that about 15 to 20% of people have nervous systems that feel things more deeply than average. This isn't a problem or a sickness. It's just how some people are built. It shows up in many animals, not just humans. Emma might be one of these people. The emotional part of her brain reacts faster and stronger than most people's. The thinking part, that usually slows things down, doesn't kick in fast enough. The tears are already coming before she can do anything about it. Brain scans prove this is real. People who cry easily show way more activity in the feeling parts of their brain when they watch emotional stuff. This is physical, measurable, not something they're making up or could just stop doing. The connection between Emma's feelings and her tear ducts is very short. Most people feel something, think about it, then decide whether to show it. Emma skips the middle steps. Feelings go straight to tears before her mind catches up. This is how her body is wired. It's not a choice, but being born sensitive isn't the only reason. Some people learn to be this way. Kids who grow up having to watch other people's moods closely can end up with nervous systems that are always on alert. Studies showed that children with unpredictable parents become experts at reading emotions. They learn to notice tiny changes in faces, voices, and body language because missing those signs meant trouble. If this was Emma's childhood, her brain learned early that feelings were dangerous information she needed to catch fast. That alertness might have become permanent. Her system got tuned to pick up emotional signals at full volume and never turned back down. Other studies show the same thing happens with kids who had to take care of their parents' feelings. Children who spent their time calming a sad mother or keeping peace during family fights often grow up still doing that work. They feel responsible for emotions that aren't theirs. They soak up other people's pain because that's what they learned love meant. Emma might see herself in this, or she might not. Not everyone who cries easily had a hard childhood. The point is that what happens to you can shape how sensitive you become, just like your genes can. There's a third reason too. Sometimes sensitivity comes from one really hard experience. Research on trauma shows that intense emotional experiences can change how your nervous system works forever. Someone who went through a painful loss, a scary event, or a long, stressful time might find themselves more emotional afterward. Their starting point shifted. It takes less to make them cry. This isn't weakness or failing to move on. It's the body adjusting to what happened. The brain learned that big feelings can show up without warning, so it stays ready. That readiness looks like being sensitive. Emma could fit any of these patterns, or all of them mixed together. Most people who cry easily don't have just one cause. You might be born with a sensitive system, then life experiences make it even more sensitive. Now let's talk about what's actually going on when Emma cries, because her tears do something useful that most people don't know about. Crying is how the body lets out pressure. Emma takes in emotional information all the time, from people near her, from stories, from strangers she sees. All of that goes into her system and needs somewhere to go. The tears release energy that would otherwise pile up too high. Scientists found that emotional tears actually contain stress chemicals that leave your body when you cry. Holding back tears means keeping that stuff inside. People who cry easily might actually be handling stress better than people who bottle everything up. This is why telling Emma to stop crying doesn't help. You're asking her to block the only exit her emotional system has. Here's something else that research shows. Crying and handling things are two separate things. Emma can be crying and still thinking straight. She can have tears running down her face and still make good choices, solve problems, and do her job. Studies show that showing emotion doesn't mess up your thinking the way people believe. The tears are just something her body does while the rest of her keeps working. Emma has given work presentations with wet eyes. She's had tough conversations while crying. The tears don't stop her from doing anything. They just show up while she handles things. People get this wrong all the time. They see her tears and think she's falling apart. They treat her like she's fragile when she's actually fine. Her face is just showing what she feels while she deals with it inside. Let's talk about feeling what others feel, because this is a big part of Emma's experience. Research shows that some people's brains copy other people's emotions so strongly that they feel them as their own. When Emma sees the old man eating alone, she doesn't just notice he might be lonely. Her brain creates that feeling so strongly that her body reacts like it's happening to her. This is why she cries at movies and commercials. Her body doesn't fully separate made-up stories from real life when it comes to feelings. She knows the characters aren't real, but her body responds to what they go through anyway. The same research shows this has good sides. People with high empathy notice when others are hurting before anyone says anything. They catch emotional changes that others miss. People feel truly understood around them, but it costs something too. Emma carries feelings that aren't hers. A sad news story can bother her for hours. Being around someone stressed makes her feel stressed. She soaks up the mood of every room she walks into. This is why she needs more time alone than most people. Being alone isn't just something she likes, it's how her body gets rid of everything it's soaked up. Without that quiet time, all those feelings would pile up and crush her. Here's what Emma wishes people got. The crying isn't something she picks. She can't just toughen up. Research proves that showing emotion is mostly automatic, controlled by parts of the body you can't boss around with your thoughts. People can learn some tricks to calm down, but they can't completely change how reactive their system is. Emma has tried everything. Breathing tricks, thinking about something else. Nothing stops the tears once they start coming. Telling her to control herself is like telling someone to stop their face from turning red. Wanting to stop doesn't make it stop. What hurts most is how people read her tears. At work, crying makes you look unstable. Emma has watched less skilled people get taken more seriously just because they kept a straight face. Her tears make others uncomfortable. They think she can't handle things when she's actually one of the toughest people there. She's had to grow thick skin about having thin skin. Mark has learned that Emma's tears don't need fixing. When she's crying, she usually doesn't need comfort or answers. She just needs space while her body does what it needs to do. The worst thing he can do is make a big deal out of it. He's also learned that her sensitivity can't be separated from everything he loves about her. The same wiring that makes her cry at commercials makes her notice when he's having a hard day without him saying a word. Her big feelings aren't a problem to put up with. They're why she connects so deeply, cares so honestly, and feels life fully, while most people only feel half of it. Drop a comment if you've always been the sensitive one. Tell me what makes you cry.